This is Matthew Sims from Encore Automotive Diagnostics and Repair, reporting live from Times Square, letting you guys know we're thinking about y'all. Any automotive concerns, repairs that you may need, feel free to give us a call at 919-539-7265 or stop by the shop at 816 South 3rd Street, Smithfield, North Carolina. Y'all have a nice day. Good evening, it's Matthew here from Encore Automotive, and I'm chiming in, letting you know that we're working on a 1996 Toyota 4Runner, and we're doing a timing belt. So check it out, and this is how you do it. We're not going to go through the whole process, but we're going to show you how to install the timing belt. Check it out. Here it comes. And the difference in these timing belts are clear and evident. You got a brand new smooth one on the left here, but consistency of newness and fresh material, you know, basically with a lot of elasticity in it, and clearly you can see that the indicator marks are fresh and unworn. Gates, recognizable known brand. This here, I don't know if this is going to have any identifiable markings on it, but look at it. You see how this belt here is reflecting the light, and this one is more dull over here. This belt, ladies and gentlemen, on the right is on this last leg. Let me see if you can see the cracks in there. Cracks should be visible even in the camera's view. Look at it a little bit. See if we get it side by side. New, old. It's a little frame right. See the cracks. You're not going to want to do this to a new belt. You can start something before it's time. See how shiny it is. All the many times it's been passed over the idler and the water pump. And in it to be pulled out once the new belt is installed. And basically, you use an Allen key. We have a 1996 Toyota 4Runner. This is a two-wheel drive unit, two-wheel drive vehicle. They come in four-wheel drive as well. And we're installing the timing belt. This is a relative vehicle. It used to be a mechanic. They have their own suggestions and recommendations. Normally, when you get to this point, you take the gears off, you replace the seals behind the gears, the sprockets, replace the idler, replace the water pump and gasket, tensioner, front main engine seal behind the sprocket. You do everything you can to avoid failure. And you can see the coolant system on this vehicle has already counted its good days. Yes. You can see it here. I can't find my light and where it went to all of a sudden. As far as protecting the metals inside the system. So you want to make sure you regularly service your coolant system, or you would have buildup of rusting gunk, and even could have issues with electrolysis. Okay, we're going over installing the timing belt on a 96 4Runner, and you get 6 points of interest here. All right, you get I don't know how to say this properly, so it may be confusing, but this here is the left hand cam, this is the right hand cam, and we're speaking about orientation from the driver's point of view. So you got left and right. You have idler pulley, water pump, idler pulley, which works along with the tensioner here, and the crankshaft pulley. And on the timing belt, you're going to have indicators. Okay, so you got L cam. See if you can read it like this. You got L cam and R cam and crank. Note that the crank has arrows on it pointing out towards the front of the engine. So to install it, basically it goes like this. All right, you put this timing mark on the mark here. Bam. All right, boom. Okay, and you don't, I mean, the cams may move, you just got to fight with them a couple times and pull them back in order, but ideally you don't want them to move. All right, and sometimes it's a struggle, sometimes it's not, but you come here, which is number 1, then you come the idler pulley, number 2 here. All right, keep the tension out of the belt. All right, then you put this one here. You see it falls right in line. I wish I could move the camera, but I got it sort of bungee corded to the radiator. All right, come here. All right, that's number 3. So 1, 2, 3. Number 4 is the water pump. All right. Number 4, the water pump pulley, which is going to come around here, ladies and gentlemen, from this side to the water pump. Boom. All right. Once you get that on the water pump, you come around and you put it on the crank. Then you're gonna put, the last one is the idler pulley. Let me check something real quick. I hate to hold your time up, but I need to see something because I'm not really seeing any indicators of where the crank goes. Now this engine is a freewheeling, meaning it's non-interference. So you wouldn't get any damage theoretically, technically you shouldn't get any damage if you're off, but you don't want to be off on the sake of time neither. And these vehicles are monitored by positioning sensing sensors, and they would tell you, hey buddy, you're wrong. But I don't see where this here is marking where this goes, which is strange, because on most vehicles there is a location for this. I'm not seeing one on this. I looked, and there's one for the TDC, but not so much the mark. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually raise this in the air and double check from the ground, just in case overlooking anything valid. And there's no mark on the bottom of this belt on the crank pulley indicating which tooth I'm in. Yep. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this one or maybe. Get mark right there. So, two things to go over. You do want to make sure when you do go this far into an engine, you want to replace every component that is serviceable. We're not doing it on this particular repair because this is a mechanic's vehicle I'm working on. Biology running through our body too, so he didn't want me to do it because I guess he can do it himself. Yeah, same biology. Make sure it's slid all the way back. Could be a beetle over there making that noise. Okay, there's going to be a guide that goes here. It's going to press up against that belt. Make sure you don't forget about that as well. This slides on behind the pulley, behind the crankshaft pulley. Taking off that crankshaft pulley, you didn't need any special tool, but you had to wiggle it. But sometimes they do become seized and you will need to use a pulley. Routes. You want to double check the timing one more time before you pull this pin here. Sometimes you can rotate the engine. Myself personally, this isn't my first rodeo, so I'm just going to pull the pin. But you can rotate it. Now if you do rotate the engine, keep in mind that the timing marks on the actual sprockets and gears will align themselves back with the rear of the timing cover or any other reference point on this unit. But the actual timing marks on the belt will not realign themselves on the first revolution of testing. It may realign itself after several turns, but it's not going to align itself with the belt and the sprockets. The belt mark and the sprocket mark is for installation. They will correspond again so many revolutions on moving forward, but not rotated, and you don't see the belt mark align back with the sprockets Don't fret, don't worry yourself. Just make sure that these marks here and here are in time with one another. And that's how it's done. You pull the pin and you're good to go. Insect caught inside that fender there. So you're thinking about